Welcome, Japanese woodblock print collectors and enthusiasts. I often get questions from collectors on the best way to store and display their Japanese prints. And those questions are the ones I'll try and answer in this video. But first, of course, some history. Let's go back 200 years to the Japanese woodblock print buyer in Edo. He or she buys a print because they like the picture. Maybe it's a landscape print of a place they've been or want to go. Maybe it's an exciting legendary hero or a favorite actor. Perhaps it's an elegant geisha or a beautiful nature scene. In any case, they buy the print for a few dollars in today's money. Once they bring it home, here's how they would display it. They could glue it to a scroll and hang that anywhere in their home. They could glue it into an album of prints. They could glue it to a folding screen. They could attach the print to a pillar in their home, or they could keep it loose in a drawer or box. If the print was left out in the open, the environment would definitely damage the print over time. Factors like humidity, fire, and the sun. Also by human factors like people ripping it, touching it, etc. If the buyer kept it contained in an album or a box, then it had the potential to survive to the current day in decent condition, and you are very lucky to have it. So here we are, living in the future. It's 2025, and we have an original woodblock print, hopefully in decent shape after 200 plus years. What are our options for storing it and/or displaying it? Let's assume it's not a print like Hokusai's The Wave, which would require climate-controlled glass and boxes. Let's assume it was a print you paid $100 to $2,000 for, and you want to store it safely. Protection all starts with acid-free paper folders. I make my own folders from drawing paper that I cut and fold to size, like this. Then you can put one print in a folder or multiple prints using acid-free tissue paper in between them to keep them separated, because you don't want one print transferring color to the next. When it comes to storing the prints, you can lay them flat in art drawers. Metal is better than wood. Or put them in these museum quality storage boxes. Or put them in art portfolios. I prefer the art portfolios because I like the convenience of grouping prints by artist and by series in pages of a book, kind of a modern version of the albums they used to have. If you like, you can slide your folders with the prints inside them into the pages of the portfolio. Now, you may be tempted to just put the prints in the album as is. And if you do, here are some recommendations. The main thing to watch out for is that the plastic edges of the portfolio pages are sharp. And if your print has an uneven or ragged border and you try and slip it in and it catches, you'll rip the edges of the print. A way to guard against this and to slip the print in smoothly is to use a thin sheet of card behind the print and just slide it in like this. Some people worry about the acetate sitting directly on top of the print. And here's what I've heard. If your print has a mica coating and the mica is loose, some of it may stick to the acetate due to static electricity. I haven't seen this happen myself, but it sounds reasonable. Other things to note are that acetate is an archival grade pH neutral film. Acetate will allow air and moisture to pass through it. That's good because it means condensation won't form. Avoid using PVC plastics because as they get older, they produce hydrochloric acid. And finally, whatever storage method you use, store your prints flat and in cool, dry conditions. Now let's move on to display. You've really only got one choice, not this. Frames. For traditional frames, I recommend going to a framing shop because framing is an art. Factors like the size of the frame in relationship to the print, the color of the mats, or using multiple mats, mounting methods, and also your decorating style all need to be taken into account. For glass, there's no reason not to go for UV coated, even though tests have shown it doesn't make a lot of difference. A professional framer will also know the best way to mount the print so it won't be damaged. The downside is just the cost. Framing can be expensive. Make sure you hang your print in a low light setting. Absolutely no direct sunlight. Even indirect sunlight or interior lighting can cause damage over time. I did a video a while back called Problems with Japanese Woodblock Prints, where I talk about the best lighting to use. Please check that out if you want to learn more. One solution I recommend is to display a good quality reproduction of your print. Then you don't have to worry about exposure to the light. You can enjoy the design, and whenever you want, you can look at your original print safely tucked away. For me personally, I have a large collection and limited wall space, so I rotate pictures out every few months. For this reason, I use these acrylic frames. They are inexpensive and it only takes a few minutes to switch out prints. I display mine on picture shelves, but you can also attach wire to the back and hang them traditionally. You can learn more on my video titled Framing Woodblock Prints. The goal above all is to do our best to preserve and enjoy our print collection for as long as possible. If you have any questions or tips on storing and displaying prints, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, please like and subscribe, and happy collecting.